In the next few minutes you are about to see the Mario universe from a completely different angle, because this video explores the shocking retro theory that Mario may never have been the hero we believed he was, revealing strange details, funny contradictions, and unsettling implications hidden inside classic games that millions of players grew up loving. So stay until the very end, because the final conclusion changes how every jump, coin, and castle suddenly makes uncomfortable sense. For decades, Mario has been presented as the perfect hero, cheerful, determined, and always ready to save the day. Yet when you slow down and actually analyze what he does, where he goes, and how the world reacts to him, the idea of Mario as a traditional hero starts to wobble, creating a bizarre and fascinating alternative interpretation of the Mushroom Kingdom. Mario does not arrive as a protector invited to help. He appears suddenly, unannounced, storming through lands that are not his own, breaking bricks that may be homes or infrastructure, defeating local creatures without asking questions, and collecting coins scattered everywhere like trophies, which raises the curious question of whether he is saving the kingdom or exploiting it. The enemies he defeats are portrayed as cartoonish and disposable, yet many retro theories suggest that Goombas, Koopas, and other creatures were once peaceful citizens transformed by magic or circumstance, meaning Mario's heroic journey might actually involve eliminating victims rather than villains, all while upbeat music plays to keep the player smiling. What makes this interpretation strangely funny is how casually the games reward this behavior, because every stomp, kick, and destruction is celebrated with points, sounds, and progress, turning moral ambiguity into a cheerful routine that players never question because the game never asks them to. Bowser becomes far more interesting when viewed through this lens, because he rules a structured kingdom, commands loyal followers, and repeatedly defends the same territory from Mario's invasions, making him look less like a chaotic villain and more like a ruler reacting to a recurring external threat that refuses to stay away. Princess Peach's role adds another layer of intrigue, because her repeated kidnappings never permanently change anything. Her rescues reset the world and her agency remains limited, which supports the unsettling idea that the entire conflict is a cycle rather than a story with true resolution. The castles Mario invades are filled with traps, lava, and strange architecture that seem designed not to stop him but to challenge him, as if the entire journey is staged, suggesting that Mario might not be disrupting the system but actively participating in a ritual that requires destruction to continue functioning. Retro game mechanics unintentionally strengthen this theory, because Mario can die repeatedly, fall into pits, and restart endlessly, which makes the concept of a single heroic journey collapse into a loop of countless failed versions, implying that the Mario we control is just one of many expendable attempts. The humor comes from realizing how normalized this endless sacrifice became for players who laughed, retried, and kept going without considering the implications, turning Mario into a symbol of persistence while ignoring the cost of that persistence within the game world. Power-ups complicate things even further, because mushrooms instantly alter Mario's body, flowers give him destructive abilities, and stars grant temporary invincibility, creating an unsettling pattern where consumption equals power, as if Mario is constantly modifying himself to survive increasingly hostile environments rather than growing through skill alone. The Mushroom Kingdom itself feels strangely indifferent to Mario's efforts, because after victory he receives brief gratitude before being sent away, only to be summoned again when the cycle restarts, making the kingdom feel less grateful and more dependent on a figure who absorbs all the risk. When you look at the cheerful visuals and happy music through this perspective, they start to feel ironic, because they mask a world that resets endlessly, erases failure without memory, and treats danger as entertainment, which is funny on the surface and deeply unsettling underneath. Hardware limitations of early consoles played a huge role in this interpretation, because simple storytelling left massive gaps, and those gaps became spaces for imagination to build meaning, turning innocent mechanics into philosophical questions about identity, repetition, and purpose. Mario's silence adds to the mystery, because he never questions his role, never reflects, and never hesitates, acting more like a force of nature than a conscious hero, which makes his journey feel automatic rather than noble. This theory does not claim Mario is evil, but it challenges the idea that heroism automatically comes from winning, because winning without understanding can still cause harm, especially when the world resets before consequences can be felt. What makes this theory so intriguing is that Nintendo never contradicts it, because the games are not designed to explain morality. They are designed to be fun, and that simplicity allows darker interpretations to exist comfortably alongside nostalgia. The funniest part is realizing that generations of players participated happily in this system, never asking whether the smiling plumber jumping through worlds was saving anyone or simply maintaining an endless cycle of controlled chaos. Viewed this way, Mario becomes less of a hero and more of a constant, a necessary disturbance that keeps the Mushroom Kingdom functioning, like a pressure valve that must release destruction periodically to prevent collapse. The dark truth behind this theory is not that Mario is a villain, but that the concept of hero and villain may not apply at all, because the Mario universe thrives on repetition rather than resolution. And that is why this retro theory shocks fans, because it takes something joyful and familiar and reveals how easily it can be reinterpreted once you stop taking it at face value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the idea that Mario was never truly the hero, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment with your own Mario theory, and share this video with other fans who love funny, curious, and mind-bending gaming stories.